Here we are. And look, WoW is on in the background. See, look, I'm on the WoW. So there's the cover for the drops being on if they're on. It should be on Twitch. Oh my god, it's soon. And it should reframe to fit. I see why it's cut off now. I remember why, because of that. Oh. Here we go. We got 5 minutes. Oh my god. You know what? I should have known we were going to get 5 minutes. I should have known. I should have known it was going to start at 11. Alright. Here, let's meet the game. I'm also gonna mute the other music. Turn this up. Got closed captions. Oh my god. Yeah, so we'll turn that off when it's ready to go. Here we go. It's the time. We almost there. I hope y'all are ready. What did I get? Am I dragging this out? No, he got bracers. That's what he got. Right. 3 minutes. What to do in 3 minutes? Yo. I'm gonna park myself over at the theater. I could do the Nightfall event. No, the Nightfall event would be too involved. Theater easy. Though I may even miss that, honestly. Because I'm gonna be focused. Here. I'll be right back. It's not happening. Are you ready? Oh my god, we still got a minute.
Go crazy. Go crazy.
No. Oh my god, what are you playing? How could you not be playing WoW at a time like this? Blaspheme! Blaspheme! It's the time. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna run around the house real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go.
What's up, everybody?
There he is.
Here at the end of The War Within, the first dramatic chapter of the World Soul
Why
Saga,
is it German?
we've seen the adventure take us into the depths of the world, and even to worlds cast out in the great dark beyond.
There we go.
We've seen our villain Xalatath running around and amassing untold power.
Yeah.
We've seen her siphon the energy.
Yeah, we see her doing crazy shit.
And even those of the black blood beneath Ajkahet. And recently, Xalatath assumed the power of the last Void Lord, Demencius. So the question remains, what will she do
now
with all that power? And what are her intentions relative
gonna slurp it
to our precious World Soul? So now, as midnight descends, and the second, darker chapter of our trilogy begins, Xalatath has returned
Or will
to
it be?
Azeroth, leading an army
How dark
known
will it be?
as the Devouring Host, intent on snuffing out the light of the Sunwell and plunging the world into darkness. You, the heroes of Azeroth, will be set on a collision course with Xalatath to save not only Azeroth itself, but everything that is.
Oh my god! Here we go! I'm so excited.
Hi everyone. As we kick
What's
off
up?
our Midnight Alpha, we'd like to give you all a deep dive into what's
All right,
in
let
store.
me in.
We want to recap everything we've shared so
Let
far, along with some brand new details.
Me in.
Today we're going to talk about the story of Midnight, as well as the zones, dungeons, delves, and raids that await if you want to save our world from Xalatath. We're also going to talk about some big new features coming in Midnight, like Prey, and Devourer Demon Hunter specialization. And of course, let's not forget housing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Are we gonna
And
get
as
point
always,
7
thank you
news?
for being a part of this amazing community, for choosing to spend your time in Azeroth and with each other.
Kitty!
Now, without further ado, let's see what's in store for
You
our
was in the
home away
window?
from home. After all, it's nearly midnight.
The void storm rages in the sky, a surging vortex of shadow and chaos. Xalatath has returned. Wielding the dark heart, she carves a path of destruction through once tranquil lands. Her all-consuming goal, devour the heavens, blot out all light, and
This
bring
narrator's
about
just saying
our
what she do.
midnight.
What's going on?
It is in the shadow of this swirling storm that the defenders of Azeroth must rally once more. For peace, for the light, for the good. This is not a battle. It is a reckoning. At the Sunwell,
There it
that
is.
eternal bastion of light and hope, Lady Liadrin and Lord Themar Theron lead the Blood Elves as they prepare to make their final stand. Because across all worlds and all stories, one thing never changes. Home is worth fighting for.
There it is.
Welcome to World of Warcraft Midnight.
Alright.
Your story begins on the Isle of Quel'Danas.
Who the voice
In the
here?
immediate aftermath of Xalatath's invasion,
Yo!
the Sunwell surges with light, calling out to all heroes of Azeroth.
That
for
looks
aid,
cool as hell.
While the vile creatures of the void
The Sunwell's
wage a
like
relentless
pushing it
assault
back.
in the hopes of extinguishing it once
Not
and
then,
for all.
though.
Flying monstrosities attack from darkened skies, and malign foes manifest without warning to wreak havoc across the plateau. Stand
Yeah,
true
there's
with the
that.
champions
That
of
looks like the
Azeroth
invasion.
as they mount a desperate defense against this invasion. For if the Sunwell falls, so too does the world. The defense of the Sunwell
so
leads you
cool.
directly into Silvermoon City. But not the one you know.
Dude,
The renewed light
it
of the
looks
Sunwell
so
symbolizes
good.
Silvermoon's revitalization,
There was romance.
shining
Oh my
over a
God.
city fully restored to a civilization, shining over a city fully restored to a thrumming, living capital. Familiar landmarks gleam with fresh polish.
I want to get to the line.
Areas like the Sanctum of Light, nooks and stories to explore. Inside the city walls, the threat of Xalatath's war draws the Alliance and Horde into wary cooperation, with shared spaces hosting common services like trainers, the auction house, vendors, and more. Around a third of the city remains off-limits to those under the Lion's banner, so the Alliance allegiant should tread lightly or risk being attacked on sight.
Alright, there we go.
Outside the city walls, however, is where
Yes,
your
it
role in the
looks so
fight against
good.
the Void really begins to take
Yep,
shape.
see, it goes right through where the Dread Scar was.
The strength of the Sunwell infuses
I
Eversong
know that
Woods with
spot.
restorative energy, healing
That
much
looks
of
so
the
good.
damage of wars past and filling the zone with new growth and new life. All of what you
Capybara.
remember of this lush, thriving forest is here. But Eversong
That's
is
where they were
also a
hiding.
reimagined landscape of increased scale and greater beauty.
Oh, it looks
Most
so
noticeably,
good.
the Ghostlands and Eversong Woods are now joined into one large zone, which
Yeah.
is itself joined to the Eastern Kingdoms.
Yes.
Eversong's flourishing fluorescence
That's literally
is
how I
not
wanted
without
it to go.
complication. Though the Sunwell's light is a boon to the environment, its surging power causes pockets of light bloom, small groves
Okay,
of
it is the
light-enriched
Sunwell,
growth, to
confirmed.
experience surges
Whatever that
of their own.
Donwell
The light bloom's
description
rampant
was
propagation,
wrong.
if left unchecked, threatens to smother all life under an overgrown tangle. Your adventures through Eversong will have you investigating the light bloom, dealing with the aftermath of a Hawkstrider chick gone wild,
Dude, it looks so
helping a
fucking cute.
suspicious
Oh my
apothecary
God.
with questionable motives, untangling the
Oh.
secrets of two feuding nobles, and even getting caught up in a sinister
Could that
murder
be? You know
plot alongside
who?
Magister Umbric as he works to crack the secrets of the Void. It is up to you how your story progresses beyond Eversong Woods, with 3 available
I
paths
think that
you
could
can
be
tackle
you know
in
who.
any order. Brave the ancient troll kingdom of Zulaman.
Yes.
Investigate the gnarled hidden roots of Harandar.
Yes.
Or accompany Arator on his journey to better understand the light, the void, and himself. Zulaman finds the Armani Troll Empire at one of its lowest points. The homeland of warlord Zuljin, Zulaman was once a place where Loa bestowed to the Armani their godly strength, and were devoutly revered in kind. The temples
Alright.
still stand, weathered but proud. The eagle, the lynx,
Oh
the
my God, it
dragon
looks so
hawk,
good.
and the bear. Ascend windswept skyscraping peaks, explore ruins shrouded in fog, traverse
looks so
stormy
good.
wilds teeming with vicious beasts.
And it's all gonna be
and
attached to the
accompany
Eastern
Zuljara,
Kingdoms.
granddaughter of Zuljin,
Look at her.
and the pragmatic pillar of strength now leading the Armani, as she seeks a means to save her people from void-aligned cultists and the monsters they revere. The Armani are invaluable allies in the defense
that guy.
against Xalatath's invading force. If you help them fight for their home, they will help you fight for yours. At the
Oh,
confluence
will
of the world
they?
tree's roots lies an impossible primordial jungle known as Harandar. It is
Yes.
here that Azeroth's entire history wraps, twists,
Oh my
and
goodness.
braids, a
Thank
literal
you for the
entanglement
bits.
of all that has been and all that
Dude,
will be.
look at that.
Harandar is
Mushroom
a land of
brontosaur.
magical, powerful growth,
Ooh.
fungal towers, glowing moss
That was
bridges,
very
and
night.
entire villages
Ardenweldy.
sparked from Harandar's wild, organic
That was
fabrics.
super
The
Ardenweldy.
pulsing heart of this knotted tangle.
I'm gonna go
is the
back through
cradle,
this.
Once the domain of a nascent goddess, long vanished, and now the home of the Haranir, who have for generations lived secretly under its soothing light.
A
The
goddess
reclusive
long
Haranir are a
vanished.
proud and insular people. They have long avoided interfering in matters of the world above. But Zalatath's destructive ambition does not stop at the surface, and the Haranir can no longer
Dude,
afford
look
the
at the
luxury
rift.
of neutrality. There
Yep,
is
they gotta
another
step
way
up.
you can help with the defense of Azeroth against Zalatath's cruel machinations. Accompany Eretor, son
Yes,
of
give me
Turalyon,
more.
and Alleria Windrunner, on a continent-spanning journey in the hopes
Paladin
of
Order
bolstering the
Hall.
Sunwell and strengthening the vanguard of the light. This story-driven adventure finds you traveling with Eretor as he searches for sacred relics and attempts to peel back the mysteries of the void, all
Interesting.
while grappling with his own relationships
That book,
to his
like
family
Dark
and the
Andrathyr.
light. Eretor's mission brings new experiences to familiar locations. Defend Light's Hope Chapel from an attack by Scourge forces.
What?
Fight through the darkened corridors of Scarlet Monastery
What?
to put to rest those who would pervert the light for their own nefarious gain, and work with Sunwalker Desco in Hammerfall
Scarlet Monastery,
to help Eretor
Hammerfall.
in discovering the paladin he aspires to become. Eretor's story reaches its climax in the shadow of Blackrock Mountain. When
Oh, we going
alongside the
south.
Sons of Lothar, he must face the weight of his father's legacy.
Oh, we going
and decide
south.
once and for all whether he is willing to rise to meet it. The raging center of an unraveling shadowy maelstrom, and the epicenter of Zalatath's power. Voidstorm overflows with violence, chaos, and
Look
hostility.
at that.
Storm fields twist and fold its space. Gravity becomes untethered and tethers again. Insatiable void creatures
Dude, it
known
looks
as
cool.
Dominar stalk the storm, each one as unique and ancient as it
This
is
is my
hateful and
least-
hungry. They
This is
carry
the
on
bottom
their
on my
eternal
list
hunt
for zones
power
I'm excited
under the
for,
black
but I'm
gaze of
excited for
three
them all.
enormous nexus points, hubs of the malicious dark energy Zalatath draws upon to fuel her void spar and conduct her unyielding assault against the Sunwell.
Yeah, she trying
Join
to...
Azeroth's champions and the Void Elves in their quest to understand what powers this storm and stave off its approach. Though much of the world of Midnight lies in the ominous shade of the encroaching void,
I saw the guy.
there is at least one refuge.
Why
for
is
the
he
weary,
there?
The Arcantina.
Hold
What
up
began as a
now.
hidden sanctuary is now a not-so-secret tavern haven.
This is
For
cool.
Horde and Alliance alike.
The
A big, cozy
Arcantina.
space filled by music, chatter, and life.
Is that the
If the void is the
tavern?
bleak and the cold, the Arcantina is its opposite. A warm spark in the heart of every patron. It is a place to
Interesting.
gather with friends, find the perfect comfy sitting room, or just soak in the atmosphere of a well-traveled watering hole.
Is that the
As a
Hearthstone
cluster for
Tavern?
people of all kinds, the Arcantina also serves as a source of new adventures. Familiar faces stop by here and there, spinning stories and
Gameman.
offering quests that send you far across
Alonzo
Azeroth
Spell!
in search of relics of the past.
Oh,
Follow the course they set for you to
I've
discover
been
a
saying
fresh
so many things
perspective
about
on
him.
familiar locations. Zalatath is determined in her destiny, an unrelenting foe with an army that never sleeps. But you can't live
This
every
cat guy.
moment in grim resistance.
I was
The
thinking that
Arcantina
Karen
is
Tor was
always
involved
here,
because we saw
Should
the
you find
banners.
yourself in need of a little respite.
Interesting. That is very cool.
The mysteries of the origins of the void and the knowledge and power
Karen
to
Tor
stop it
Tavern
are
Crawl.
not to be found only on the surface. For true deliverance, as always, hides in snarled labyrinths, looming temples, deadly
Yo,
ruins.
we gotta
These
take a
dells,
look at these
dungeons and raids
pictures.
are the real font of power. The sacred and defiled spaces
Furball?
from which strength is not just earned, but taken. Across this void-darkened world hide myriad delves
This is so
overflowing
fucking
with
cool.
incalculable danger. Located on the Isle of Quel'Danas, Parhelion Plaza
Void
is an
Sunwell, there it
outdoor
is.
delve that drops you into the heart of the defense of the Sunwell. Fight against the surge of the Void's attack by restoring Parhelion's
There's
defenses,
Valeria.
commanding an artillery of light, ducking into pocket
Valera.
dimensions, and putting down Gladius Slana, a Dominar who uses summoned Voidwalkers as weapons against your stand.
Against my
Expect to
stand?
plunge the depths of
We
none
get
other
stands!
delves, and one seasonal
Best
nemesis
expansion.
delve when midnight
Oh
launches.
my god, that's
You do
awesome.
not have to face these delves alone. Valera Sanguinar is a powerful new companion
our
with a
stand.
rogue-minded approach to problem-solving. As a DPS, her killing spree ability has her moving through the shadows to lash out at
Oh, yeah.
multiple enemies. As a healer, she uses vampiric reaping to rip away the life force of
Healing
enemies
rogue.
into orbs you can collect to heal. And as a tank, she uses your first mistake to taunt and do damage over time to any enemy that turns their back on her to attack her
Alright,
ally.
there you go.
Valera is also a prolific provider of poisons that, depending on her role, empower you with more damage, better avoidance, increased speed, and more.
Dude, she sounds cooler than Bran. I'm excited.
Your adventures in Midnight eventually lead you down darker paths, paths that end in overgrown corridors and ruin-stricken
Dude,
relics,
I'm gonna be-
forgotten places of powers
This-
best left
what?
unstirred. Yet these dungeons promise plunder worthy of the peril, should you have the courage to overcome the challenges.
Yeah, is that
within.
Muzala E? I feel
Windrunner
like he may
Spire,
be
the
coming
former
back.
residence of the Windrunner family,
That
haunts the
green.
skyline of
That's
Eversong
death
Wood's
green.
western shore.
Not
The
void.
strained relationship of its namesake sisters, Varisa, Sylvanas, and Ilaria, imbues its halls with a sullen, spiteful energy. The restless spirits bound to this animosity threaten all who draw near. Among these spirits walks the Windrunner's sole brother, Lirith, who needs your help in quelling this restlessness and clearing his once great home of hate.
Are we helping his
Serenity,
ghost?
however, is not so easily claimed. There are other forces that seek dominion over this domain. Emberdawn, a
Interesting.
fire-colored dragonhawk, claims the dilapidated gardens of the Spire as a nest for her young.
Oh.
She is fiercely territorial, answering intruders with both talon and flame. The derelict duo comprised of the Banshee Callis and her
Derelict
loyal
duo.
abomination Latch lead a band of
Dude.
fanatical undead in a hunt for relics tied to
They really
Sylvanas.
making it
They meet
fancy.
outside
I remember going
interference
around the
with a
top.
mix of shadowy magic and brute
questing.
strength. Commander Krolok, a merciless orc who oversaw countless conquests during the Second War that took Lirath Windrunner's life, stalks the Spire with an insatiable bloodlust. Since being slain in vengeance by
Oh.
Ilaria, Krolok knows only torment and the desire to pass it
I
on.
wonder if he's in one of
The
the
restless
books.
heart, a concentrated whirlwind of grief and suffering, born from the conflict of the Windrunner sisters, envelops all who remain in turbulent turmoil. This swirling specter takes the form of a ranger, combining the power of the wind with volleys of arrows to cut down the uninvited.
Oh, is that like their mom?
Windrunner Spire was, at one point, a living embodiment of family and of legacy. With the help of Lirath and your allies, you can make it so once more. 7 more dungeons await you in Midnight, each one crawling with the cutthroat and the craven.
Interesting. See?
Majesty's
That
Terrace
green
and
looks
Murder Row in
deathy,
Eversong
not
Woods,
voidy.
the Den of Nalorak and Mysara Caverns in Zulaman,
Dude.
Blinding Veil in Harandar, and the Voidscar Arena and Nexus
looks
Point
so good.
Zenith in Voidstorm.
Looks so good. Oh my
The
god.
most tyrannical antagonists of Azeroth work their dark deeds from within Midnight's 3 new raids.
Alright.
The Void Spire, where 6 bosses hold court over the heart of the Void, and muster against the amassing vanguard
The
of
next
the light
big
as
creepy.
it readies to storm the walls of Xalatath's stronghold. The Dream Rift, where you must join in the hunt for an undreamt god that never should have been, and put down half-birthed abominations that
Yep,
lash out
that
against
is the
existence
description.
itself. And
That
march
is the
on Quel'Danas,
description.
an encounter still shrouded by the fog of war, beyond the
Oh.
known presence of Beloren, the void-corrupted phoenix, who stakes a ceaseless watch over the entrance to the chambers beyond. The void threatens to end all of Azeroth, to rend the world in the squall of a black tempest. But the
Oh.
extraordinary power it carries does provide opportunities to those heroes willing to embrace it. Devoured demon hunters bend the
We already
void to
know
their
one of the
will,
bosses.
ripping void fragments from their enemies and using them as the power source for cataclysmic
This looks cool.
spells.
That mob
They
looks
are
cool.
mid-range damage dealers,
That one doesn't.
armed with a summonable
That guy
void
looks
scythe,
kinda cool.
darting in and out of the fray as they dance on the line between control and chaos.
Dude.
Voidblade and Hungering Slash work in concert. Dash into melee range to deliver a series of crushing void side attacks, then use Vengeful Retreat to escape the enemy's reprisal. You can also start this combo off with
That
a
looks
Void
interesting.
charged The Hunt.
Gotta try it, man.
Metamorphosis transforms you into a familiar state of cursed power. The more you feed it, the longer it lasts. Ride the wave of annihilation by tearing apart
wave of
souls and
annihilation.
staying alive.
That looks
Rip
so
is a sweeping
good.
scythe attack that consumes all of your soul fragments for one massive burst of damage. Use Void Ray to cut through enemies in a straight line and leave them smoldering. Collapsing Star channels the immense energy
They did
of a
really
dying
good with
star,
this spec.
focusing it into one single destructive blast.
That looks so
The more you
good.
cast it during your Void Metamorphosis, the stronger it gets.
Blech.
Demon Hunters also find themselves with new disciples in Midnight. Void Elves are sharpening their warglaives and joining the hunt.
Alright, well, we need more.
Newly awakened
Okay.
to the dire threat of Midnight, the Haranir join the fight for the surface
That
as
looking
the
good.
next playable allied race.
He had a bad shirt on
Haranir
for
are
that,
deeply
but
entwined with the organic
heritage
world.
armor looking good.
Theirs is a culture shaped not by cities or by conquest, but by the roots, the stones, the quiet pulse of the deepest
Dude.
breath of the world. Their armor, their weapons, their skin, all are infused with the inner light of organic power. Even the
Organic
mightiest
power,
primordial
life
predator in
power.
Harandar knows to fear the telltale luminescence of a Hananir's markings in the dense jungle brush.
Dude,
They are
I'm
primal,
gonna be playing
ferocious
Harnier
hunters,
for sure.
a force of nature unto themselves,
Oh my
who possess
God.
the racial ability to
Harnier
travel
Druid.
along the roots of the world,
Harnier
from
Druid.
Harandar to any
That's what I'm
world
playing.
tree, or from anywhere back to
Look,
Harandar.
that looks Arden Wildy.
Haranir are versatile warriors who can choose from a wide range of paths, including those of the warrior, hunter, rogue, priest, shaman,
Look at those
mage,
helmets.
warlock, monk,
Some of those
and
are
druid.
like the questing
The
set
last
for the
of which
area.
has all
Yo,
new
all the
that
forms!
reflect the Haranir's unique connection to the hidden parts of the
Yo!
earth.
That's like a weasel! Look at the boomkin!
Prey is
Yo!
a secret opt-in initiative run out of Silvermoon City by Astalor Bloodsworn,
Yeah, the
a
tree
blood
form.
elf with what some might call a colorful past.
Yeah, he has a history.
Astalor is after one thing: anguish, a powerful magic siphoned from Azeroth's deadliest threats. And he's offering
That's
generous
anguish
compensation to
magic.
heroes who are courageous or foolhardy
Interesting.
enough to go chase it.
Look at the
Astalor's lair
gnome
in Murder
picture.
Row is your base of operations for
Blood Elf
prey.
Fight
A
Club.
place where you pick your targets, track your progress, and collect your rewards, including cosmetics,
Oh, those look
mounts,
good.
titles, and housing items. The deeper you go, the harder the challenges, and the more you unlock.
Alright, I'm
Prey has
excited
three
to try it.
difficulties. Normal, which serves as an introduction to the system, along with offering plenty of challenge. Hard, where the ambushes get meaner and the encounters more intense. And Nightmare, which is just about the
Nightmare.
fastest way to gain intimate knowledge of Midnight's many new and scenic graveyards.
Oh, they're
Prey
talking
can
shit.
ambush you at any time, whether you're questing, exploring, or minding your own business.
Get 'em.
Each time you defeat your target, you increase your advantage by tiring them out and buying time to find whatever dark hole they're hiding in.
Mm-mm-mm.
Higher difficulties incorporate torments, personal afflictions that only impact
Oh.
you. Torments cause a wide range of effects,
Okay.
like creating an AoE damage puddle under recently
Yeah,
deceased foes, or haunting you with a bloody
That's
spirit
easy to
that deals lethal
deal with.
damage when it catches you.
That's always
The
fun.
torment can also manifest in the form of Astalor's impatience, forcing you to make a kill within a specific time limit before Astalor simply extracts his payment from you.
What?
Prey targets are all different. And
Yo,
all
like, does he
deadly.
come fight you? Do you
That
gotta
is the
fight
Sunbreaker,
him?
a disgraced blood elf whose reckless magic is a threat
Is that
to
gonna be an
Silvermoon and
achievement? You
everyone
fight
near it.
Astalor?
High Vindicator Vareem, a zealot who believes the void can only be defeated by covering the entire world in holy flame, and is
Interesting.
ready to put that belief to the test.
Interesting.
Executor Canius, a sadistic dominar whose primary hobby is murdering anyone foolish enough to challenge his martial prowess.
Alright, so these are our
Prey
praise.
is a way to add excitement, unpredictability, and challenge to your journey through midnight. But
Alright.
be warned, There's a reason Astalor isn't chasing these targets himself. For those who tread the worn paths and soaring skyways of Azeroth, it is more than a world, more than
Dude,
story,
that's
or
the
conflict.
Alliance neighborhood.
Azeroth is, and always
Holy
will be,
shit, the Horde
home.
one too.
Housing in Midnight
Oh
is
my
dedicated to that
God.
ineffable feeling of being part of something bigger, of something greater, of living a real life as a true part of a real world.
There's the Blood Elf.
Housing in WoW is built to give you
Dude.
boundless self-expression.
We are like 2 patches away.
Collect hundreds of decorations and dive deep on customization. Place, rotate, scale, and move items to your heart's content. This is more
it's
than
so
changing
good.
a coat of paint or choosing a different picture
I'm
frame.
excited to try
It's a
it.
sandbox for your
Finally,
imagination.
for
World
myself.
of Warcraft has over 2
they let me
decades of
in.
content, and the time you've spent in Azeroth over the years will yield a bounty of housing rewards.
Look at that
Milestones like
system.
completing your Legion
Can you
Order
imagine
Hall
all the
campaign,
stuff you're gonna
or
be able to do
finishing
with it?
completionist achievements like Back to the Beyond.
They
will
mentioned
award
order
housing
halls.
items post facto. You'll
Every
also
time they
earn
mention
decor
order halls
through
now.
Dungeons and raids, reputation vendors, achievements, quest lines,
Donut
housing
shop,
endeavors, the auction house,
Pandaren donuts,
holidays and live events,
mochi
and
nut.
crafting. All professions from all expansions can craft decor. Search the world for lumber, a new gathering resource, and use it to craft decorations that can be bought and sold.
You just roll
the
up on
auction house.
trees.
Many housing-specific items can be dyed, giving you greater control of the finer details of decorating.
There we go, dies.
Imagine your dream home. Collect and craft the decor
Imagine
to bring it
your
to
dream
reality.
home.
Then tweak it until it is just
Look at that.
right. Floor plans
Look at
are
all the
flexible.
things.
You can rotate and stack rooms to create multi-floor structures.
There's the
A
base.
variety
Look
of
at
room
that.
types and
one
shapes
room.
are available, including normal squares and rectangles,
Oh,
L and T hallways, as well as some more fantastical configurations. Advanced mode takes the toolset even
Oh.
further, allowing you to adjust each piece of decor exactly as you want.
look at that.
Rotate, float, scale, and more to make your home a perfect reflection of your taste. And that's just the inside. The outside of your house
Here
is
we
also
go. Some
customizable.
outside.
Place your home how you want it on your plot. Add fountains, statues, planters, and more. Change out your windows. Pick the perfect chimney. Add a tower,
Dude.
and decide on the door of your dreams.
door
Exterior
of your
plots also have the
dreams.
same advanced mode as interiors for even more modification.
Dude, how many flamingos
At
you gonna
Midnight's
have
official launch,
outside your house?
You'll have a choice between exterior themes based on orcs, humans, blood elves, and night elves.
Dude,
These
when are
aren't
goblins
just
gonna
skins.
get
They're
exteriors?
full
You gotta have
architectural
goblin
styles
exterior
with unique
and just have
customization
flamingos
options.
everywhere.
All
On your
homes
horde
feature
one.
hide rooftops, bonfires, and rugged surfaces. Human homes are rustic, with sturdy stone walls,
Yep,
warm wooden
rustic.
floors, and colorful banners. Level up your house to unlock more flexibility. New rooms and
Oh,
floors, bigger house sizes, increases in the number of spots for decor, and more. Every house is in a shared
Sheet.
zone known as a neighborhood, where you and others can show off your homes, build community, and participate
Dude.
in rolling challenges to earn housing rewards.
completely worth the raid tier.
Neighborhoods feature a wide variety of biomes, from spooky forests and coastal plains in
Okay,
Founders
I
Point
like the
to
spooky
lush
forest.
oases and windswept
That-
bluffs in razor-winged
That is the
shores.
horde area I'm liking
All
right
contain
there.
different kinds of plots. Some are secluded
Oh.
and quiet, while others are clustered for the socially vibrant. Your neighborhood is faction-coded in its aesthetics, but not faction-exclusive in its residency. You have
Alright.
the choice between two types of neighborhood. Private neighborhoods where guilds or groups of friends can form their own space. Public neighborhoods where you'll find a home among friends you haven't met yet. Private neighborhoods come in two varieties. Guild neighborhoods, which scale to fit your guild roster, and
Alright.
charter neighborhoods, which are capped at 50 homes and are perfect for tight-knit communities.
There's that guy.
Endeavors are monthly neighborhood-wide activities that bring everyone together to complete tasks.
Hmm. Yo,
unlock themed
he looks so
decorations,
cool.
And contribute to helping your neighborhood evolve. Participate in
There's a
endeavors to earn
Mechanom one.
House XP and community coupons
House
that give you
XP. We
access
gotta
to
level our
exclusive
houses.
decor. Above all, housing is designed to help you find your perfect space and transform it to your
There
own
we go.
fantasy haven.
This
To
is
create your
this
own
is
home,
sweet.
sweet home.
Home sweet home. All right.
And there you have it. Thank you so much on behalf of the entire World of Warcraft team
That's
for
it.
joining us for this overview of Midnight.
I mean, it was
And if after
good.
what you just saw, you can't wait to get your hands on housing, don't worry, because it's coming your way if you have Midnight in early December of this year.
Early December
Thank
of
you
this
again,
year.
and we'll see you in Azeroth.
Early December of this year. Confirmed 11.7. 11.2.7. Slayer's Rise. There's the new battleground. New and return players update. That's good. Situational outfit swapping. Apex talents. Nameplate customizations. Cooldown management. Combat assist help. Death recap. Streamlined skywriting.
Friends, we hope you've enjoyed this deeper look at Midnight. But as you
Dude.
can see,
Oh, I've
this
enjoyed
fight
it.
is far from over. The drums of war thunder once again, and Azeroth needs her champions, now more than ever.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. Sign me up, Medicine. I'm ready to go. Alright. We rolling this back. There was so many things in this that I gotta
Reckless
see.
assault in the hopes of
So, there's a shot here, dude. Look at this shot. Look at this shot, bro. The Sunwell itself is fighting back against the Void here. Look at that. Oh my god. That looks so cool. But then later... So something happened in the first raid to cause that. And then we learn a boss. We learn a boss in the first raid. Or in the second raid. We learn what the first boss of that raid is. Which is kind of crazy. So there's only one more. Like, who is it? Is it Zally Toes? Or is it, the other person I think it could be?
and the march on Quell Danas.
Okay, but see, it's gold here.
An encounter still shrouded by the fog of war.
And this is the first
Beyond
boss
the known
of it.
presence of Belloren, the
Belloren.
void-corrupted Phoenix, who stakes a ceaseless watch over the entrance to the chambers beyond. The void threatens to end all of Azeroth, still shrouded by the fog as it readies to storm the walls of Xal'atath's stronghold. The Dream Rift, where you must... But the
Interesting.
extraordinary power it carries does provide focus of the Haranir tail luminescence.
Haranir looks so cool.
Are infused cities or by conquest, but by the roots deeply entwined with the organic world. Theirs is
There's
primordial
spots
cells.
that straight up
Haranir,
look like
roots of the world,
like, yeah,
from
hold up.
Hadandar to any world tree, or from any
straight up. This is Ardenwild style architecture. It's not the same color, but it's the same style as those one areas in Ardenwild. So that's
nowhere
kind of
back
interesting.
to Hadandar. Haranir are versatile warriors who can choose from a wide range of paths, including those of the warrior, hunter,
I want to look at the
rogue,
druid
priest,
stuff again.
shaman, mage, warlock, monk, and druid. The last of
Alright. So, that's its pangolin form, I guess. Tree. Feral. Is that the travel form? Or the aquatic form? Yeah, so flight, travel, and then boomkin. Right? So maybe we got to figure out what their aquatic is. If that's not, maybe that's their aquatic too, because that looks like an otter. That tree looks good. So that's the bear. That's kind of good.
which has all new forms that reflect the Haranir's unique connection to
I
those
like
hidden
it.
parts of the earth.
I like it.
Wish.
All
Keep
right,
your
so
and night
that it's
damage when it catches you.
interesting.
A torment can also manifest in the form of Astalor's impatience, forcing you to make a kill within a specific time limit before Astalor simply extracts his payment from you.
From
Prey
you.
targets are
That's why I'm like, is he gonna roll up on you? Dude, the neighborhoods look so good. Like, I'm gonna want a spooky house. Look at that! That's where the necromancer lives. That dude, imagine getting that house. Like, people are gonna be trying to get this house specifically. Right? That's why I'm wondering, like, how hard is it gonna be getting spots for people? They didn't give us any .7 news. There was some stuff here that I wanted to look at.
she uses vampiric reaping to attack her Lily Runner family, haunts the sky. Should you have the courage to overcome.
Okay, so this green 100% feels deathy to me. I don't know about y'all, but that feels deathy to me. More than
Strength is not just earned, but taken. As always,
like, see, look at that. Look at that. That feels like some Muzala. That feels like some Muzala shit. I wonder where the furbolgs are gonna be.
power. The
Like,
sacred
is that Zulaman?
on the surface. For true deliverance, as always, hides in snarled labyrinths, looming temples.
Okay. This literally looks like the under area of Suramar, which is also like, where can this be then? Because this is very elfy. So is this under Silvermoon? Under
Deadly
Ghostlands?
ruins. These
There's some
delves,
ethereal. Like, see, yeah, where is this?
dungeons, and raids
That one I know.
are the real font of power.
That one's clear.
The sacred and defiled spaces
Zulaman,
from
I
its
guess, for
strength is
that.
not just
See, the bear is in the back there.
earned, but taken. Across this void-darkened world hide myriad delves overflowing with incalculable danger.
They're just talking about the one.
Located on the Isle of Quel'Danas, Parhelion Plaza is an outdoor delve that drops you into the heart of the defense of the Sunwell. Fight against the surge of the Void's attack by restoring
The
part watering
Argentina.
hole. Bark
Let's see
in
who
a
else we
filled by
see.
music of the encroachment.
The Argentina seems
and
cool.
conduct an unyielding stave
It
in the
feels kind of
ominous
like the
shade of
Draenor Tavern.
encroaching void. There is at least one
It
refuge
kind
for
of
the
feels
living,
like the tavern.
Argentina. What began as a hidden
Narrative
sanctuary
hub.
is now a not-so-secret tavern haven.
And I'm wondering if this is like Kirin
A
Tor,
big, cozy space
like what they're doing
filled by
next.
Music, chatter, and life.
Because you saw the banners, they
If the
said
void is
it.
the bleak
Those
and
are
the cold, the Argentina
players.
is its opposite.
There's
A
Alonza's.
warm spark in the heart of every patron.
And maybe
It
a
is place
dwarf,
to
or
gather
that's
with friends,
Kurdrin.
Find the perfect
Or
comfy sitting room,
Falstad.
or just soak in the
Etrig, Danis,
atmosphere of a well-traveled watering hole.
Arathi, Topical. I don't know who she is.
As a crossway for people of
She
all
feels like a
kinds,
player
the
character.
Argentina also serves as a source of
Thistly.
New
And is
adventures.
that Zabra?
Familiar
Hex?
faces stop by here and there,
Gaming.
spinning stories and offering quests.
That's that one gnome. I can't honestly
Send you
remember her
far
name,
across
but
Azeroth
I know
in
where
search
she's
of relics of the past.
she was
Follow
in
the course they
Mechagon.
set for you to
That looks like Tao Shi.
discover a fresh perspective
That may be the
on
player
familiar
character.
locations. Xalatath is determined in her destiny, an unrelenting foe with an army that never sleeps. But you can't
There's
live
Khadgar.
every moment in grim resistance. The Argentina is always here, should you find yourself in need of a little respite.
Dude. It's like a mini... I can't wait to see what that's more about. So, let's get to it. Why is he here? Why is he here? Like, we know what his deal is, right? We know what his deal is, right? I'm 1000% sus of this guy. Right? The second I see him, all of my characters are like, that's a op. Okay? He is not to be trusted. Lothraxian is not to be trusted. I do not trust this guy.
And the Void Elves in
All right?
quest to understand what powers this storm and stay.
I know who his boss is. Do I want his boss to come back? Yeah, sure. But I don't know what he up to.
Help with the defense of Azeroth against
Everything he
Xalatath's
do, I'm gonna be like,
nations. Accompany Eretor, son of Turalian and Alleria Wind.
alright, let's pause some of these. So, us in the Paladin Order Hall. Cool. Guess it's not being used. Sad. Can it be used in the future?
In the hopes of bolstering the Sunwell and strengthening the Vanguard.
Alright, this looks like it's in the new Ghostlands.
This story-driven adventure.
This is in the main area.
Searches for sacred relics and attempts to peel.
This looks like new area. We got Romath. Interesting.
All while grappling with his
Scarlet
own
Monastery.
relationships to his family and the light. Eretor's mission brings new experiences to familiar locations.
Suleiman.
Defend Light's Hope Chapel.
What scourge is attacking Light's Hope Chapel? They make it seem, listen, they make it seem like it's this, right? We know it's not the player character Death Knight. Right? It can't be the player character Death Knights, because they are in the player character Death Knights class hall. Is it Acarus? Yeah. Should be. It was on the Broken Shore. Then it went to Ice Crown. So as far as I'm aware, it's in Ice Crown. So which one is this? Like, it even looks a little different, right? For me, see, this looks extra green. Right? This can't be the player character one.
By Scourge forces. Fight through the darkened corridors of Scarlet Monastery.
Yeah.
To put to rest those who would pervert the light for their own.
More Scarlet
gain,
Monastery.
and work
Interesting.
with Sunwalker Desco in Hammerfall.
Dude, going to Arathi Islands again.
To become.
They keep drawing us to Arathi with the Arathi Empire.
Arator's story reaches its climax in the
There's gotta be a
shadow of
reason.
Blackrock Mountain, when alongside the sons of Lothar, he must face
Go all the way
weight
to
of his
Blackrock,
father's legacy,
dude. The fact that we're
decide
going
once
way
and for all
down
whether he is willing to rise to meet it.
really makes me wonder, where can we be
The
going
raging center of an unraveling shadow
in these
maelstrom,
patches?
and the epicenter of Xalatath's power.
I think I'm wrong about the Void Storm, though. I think the Void Storm would have been cool if it was like 3 parts.
Of magic interfering in matters of the world above. But Xalatath's destructive ambition does not stop.
So that's like the
surface,
rift,
and
or
Harad
leads to the
Azeroth
rift.
against. They have long avoided interfering in matters of the world above.
That area looked kind of
Who
cool.
primordially are invaluable allies.
Hold on, I want to go. So
Capital. Familiar landmarks gleam with fresh polish, while new is beyond Eversong Woods. With 3 available paths you can tackle in any...
So we do learn that it's the Sunwell causing the light bloom to act up.
Brave the ancient troll kingdom of Zulaman.
That's the entrance. That looks so
Investigate the
good.
gnarled hidden roots of where Loa bestowed to the on his journey to better understand the
Look
light,
at that entrance
the
to
void,
Zulaman.
and himself. Zulaman
Dude,
finds the
it looks
Amani
so
Troll
good.
at one of its lowest points. The homeland of warlord Zuljin, Zulaman was once a place where Loa bestowed to the Amani their godly strength, and were devoutly revered in kind.
Mm-hmm.
The temples still stand, weathered but proud. The eagle, the lynx, the dragonhawk,
That looks so
and
good.
the bear. Ascend wind-swept sky-scraping peaks, explore ruins
I'm trying to look
shrouded
for the
in
new
fog,
shots.
traverse stormy wilds teeming
Seen
with
this
vicious
one.
beasts, and accompany Zuljara, granddaughter of Zul.
I think they
and the
changed up
pragmatic
her
pillar
face
of
marking a
strength
little
now
bit.
leading the Amani, as she
She looked
seeks a
good, though,
means to
I think.
save her people from void-aligned
Dude, for a second I was like, yo, Malacrat, and then it was an orc.
cultists and the
Ogre.
monsters they revere.
Alright.
The Amani are invaluable allies.
That's
in
that
their
one
defense
dude.
against Zalatath's invading force. If you help them fight for their home, they will help you fight for
Dude.
yours.
This just, with how they say that, makes me think Allied Race.
At the confluence of the world,
Look at that hummingbird. Alright, I think I got everything out of this that I needed. I want to see if there's more posts about this. It just says watch now. Here, let's pull up the news. Or I'm just pulling up Wowhead to see if they have anything else. Oh, the Q&A. Yo, I missed the
lightly,
Q&A.
or risk being attacked on sight. Outside the city walls, however, is where you...
Here we go.
Question on Reddit comes from Chilligok. Chilligok asked, will we ever get another texture update for...
Alright. I'm missing it live, but we're doing this.
Gordon? And I go by
I
comments
analyzed
on
that
the
cutscene.
community team.
Or that
Recently
stuff.
asked WoW players on forums and social media sites to submit
Let's get to
questions,
it.
and you delivered. So, we've got 3 leaders of the WoW development team here.
Approach this as it's appropriate to the story. We'll look for cool ways that you can.
Oh my
integrate
god,
these
closed
messages
captioning is
into your content.
unavailable. Hmm.
We recently asked WoW players on forums and leaders of the WoW
Director on World of Warcraft, working on the Midnight.
Hi, I'm Ian Hussey-Kostas, Game Director.
Alright. Let's get
Hi,
to
my
it.
name's Paul Cubitt. I'm Associate Game Director on World of Warcraft, working on the Midnight expansion.
Hi, I'm Maria Hamilton. I'm the design director
The
for
big
WoW.
3.
We got a lot of questions, and I want to get right to them. We're going to start with some housing questions. So, Cyglaive on the forums asked, it actually said, during a Gamescom interview, it was mentioned that Horde players would be able to use Alliance-style housing exteriors and vice versa. However, in a recent blog post, it was stated that the housing styles would be faction-locked. Can we get clarification on that?
Alright, here we
Yes,
go.
There was a bit of confusion definitely around the Gamescom messaging there. As we just saw in the deep dive video, the neighborhoods ultimately are anchored in specific locations in the world.
Alright,
If
so they're
you are
faction
in
locking
the
now.
Alliance neighborhood, you are on the outskirts of Stormwind in the Elwyn area. If you are in the Horde neighborhood, you're on the outskirts of Orgrimmar. While private neighborhoods can be cross-faction, you can have your guildmates, you can have your friends of the opposite faction move in, the general setting, the exterior houses there are going to reflect the location.
Alright.
The NPCs that are wandering around the neighborhood, again, are anchored in that place in the world.
They got
Maybe something
they
that
got
we missed down the line,
HOAs.
but for the time being,
They got
if
Alliance
you're in the Horde
HOA and
neighborhood,
Horde
the
HOA
home
walking
exteriors
through.
need to reflect
Up,
the
you can't have
Horde's,
that human.
Take that up with the Orgrimmar HOA if there's a concern.
Speaking of things
Yep.
wandering around, a player named Hey Hey on the EU Spanish forums asked, I know there are plans for combat pets to appear in housing. Are there also plans for hunter pets?
Yes, so pets are something in general that we're working towards. At release in Midnight, battle pets won't be available to be placed
Okay.
just yet.
I didn't
Something
think
that
they
we
would.
need to solve to make that work on the engineering
Because
side.
I did not
is
see that
actually making
in any
sure
of
that
the
they can
things.
path and move comfortably around whatever configuration of objects you might happen to place in your home or in your yard. So we are planning on delivering that shortly after launch. Alongside that, we do want to add the ability to place your
0.5,
mounts in your
0.7.
mount collection. If you want to, have them on a hitching post in your yard, that's something we'd love to deliver as well.
That would be
Hunter
great.
pets are probably trickier. Those are character specific, and housing is a complex system really tied to your warband. And so, pulling from a specific character's hunter pet stable would probably be much
All of
more
a sudden,
challenging.
of
Never say
course.
never, but that's not in the plans currently.
Okay,
We
cool.
live, so.
Bjerke on Reddit asked, how will the trading post housing items work? Let's say there's a chair on the trading post. Will we have to buy the chair multiple
that's
times
good.
if we want a set of 4 in our house?
That's good.
Will there be a 10-chair
Thank
bundle for a
goodness.
set price? Or will the purchase give us infinite amount of chairs?
This is something we spent a good amount of time thinking about. There's going to be lots of ways that you can get decor starting in 11.2.7 and then into Midnight through achievements, through
Okay.
crafting, through completing just the campaign
Come
of
on.
Midnight and so on. And
Yes.
we ran into a lot of the same questions that you asked, the person who asked this question.
Yes.
Yes, and for that reason, we're actually just not going to have them on the trading post. At least for the first few months, there should be plenty of other ways that you could start gathering decor for your house. And then you won't have to make that hard decision between, do I want this chair versus this cool mount or cool transmog?
Another question comes from Xanther.
So they just said they're pushing it down the
Xanther
road.
asked, how will outdoor housing plots work? If I want a certain plot and it's taken, do I have the option to try another instance?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Essentially, when you want to move house, you're just going to say, yep, it's time to move. It's all going to get packaged up for you. Paul likes to say that a mage comes along and puts it into an arcane ball for you. Don't know if that's actually,
That is what happens.
Oh, totally. Okay. And then you can go to wherever you'd like to sort of deploy your house, and it just comes right back out of the bubble, set up exactly how you had it. So you
Dude,
can
I
move
hope
around neighborhoods, you
the
can move
mage
around,
that runs
different
the
plots within a
housing is
neighborhood.
called
Yeah,
Tom Nook.
totally transportable.
Right on.
It's like
Celia
a panda
on the
mage.
German WoW forums asked, will there be updates to the guild system in Midnight?
I think most of the updates we see to the guild system are going to be in the form of neighborhoods. We expect to see a lot of guilds, especially guilds who are playing a lot actively with one another, to build guild neighborhoods where you'll be able to live alongside one another. So instead of the typical ways you're interacting with one another in WoW, whether that's raid nights, Mythic Plus nights, PvP, whatever it is you choose to do, you might also just start running into one another in the morning when you go out to get the paper. And so really looking forward to seeing guilds build stronger connections based on those guild neighborhoods.
I think the other systemic trappings of the guild system are something that we know is definitely due for a refresh. Guilds obviously have been there since the beginning, and there's definitely room for improvement. Our focus for Midnight, though, really was on the housing integration side of it, and the rest of the system is something we hope to get back to in the near future.
Yeah, now
A
that they got
highly upvoted
housing.
question on Reddit comes from Chilligok. Chilligok asked, will we ever get another texture update for older races? Especially compared to Earthen, the hairstyles are outdated now.
We do have a couple which are coming in Midnight. As you complete the Amani campaign in Zulaman, you will be able to unlock some cool cosmetics for Darkspear Trolls, some cool hairstyles, and actually skin colors as well. And so if you have any Darkspear Trolls on your account, you play through the campaign, you'll be able to get some cool customizations. And this is one of the ways that we do try to approach this, is as it's appropriate to the story, we'll look for cool ways.
He kind of pointed right here, but then he said skin colors,
the only way that we might do this, though.
not beards.
Exactly. I think it's something that
We'll have to see
as
what
an
these
extension away at
customizations
over
are
time. We want to roll out
to
different
really
customizations,
gauge
hairstyles,
if I want to be
you
happy
name
with
it,
them or
for
not.
the
I mean,
existing races to continue to bring them up to parity with the very newest options. It's not something we're able to do all at once, but particularly where it makes sense and fits the story, we're excited to keep adding them. Our long-term goal is to get to a place where every race, whether brand new or one of the original ones, has roughly the same number of options.
So, as we just saw in the deep dive, and going back to the Gamescom announcement,
that's what they always
have a
say.
system coming called Prey. And I have a couple of questions here about Prey. System of Cells on Reddit asked, will the Prey system make all mobs in the target zone more challenging, or only the Prey target plus world quests unique to that system?
Yeah, it will affect everything in the zone for you. So if you have chosen to go into the zone chasing a nightmare mode prey, everything is going to be much harder for you. It's based on an aura that's put on you, sort of like it's almost like an affliction in a way, or torment. And as you move through that zone, it's going to be hard.
Triviza 3.
And the player in Prey is on their own?
They are when they finally wear down that boss. If it's in one of the harder modes, then you need to go mano a mano. If it's in the normal mode, then the rest of the players in the vicinity can help you out.
Gotcha.
Okay.
The WoW creator Fandy asked, is the Prey system planned to be a part of the World Row in Vaults?
Yeah. In one way or another, as we
I feel like they said that
things
before.
that comes in is specifics on rewards. So we don't have the specific details now, but when we do look at Prey, we look at it as similar in difficulty and sort of player activity to the types of things that you do in Delves. And Delves do take up that bottom row of the World Row in the Great Vault as well. So we do expect, if you're running Prey, you're going to see better rewards in that row in one way or another.
All right.
Good. I want to get to one of the most highly upvoted questions we saw across all channels. This is from Weird Dandom Ally on Reddit. And that goes, any plans to rejuvenate the glyph system? All classes could take advantage of it for class visual customizations like
Really?
warlocks have with their pets and druids with
Oh,
their forms.
I guess more of the
Yeah, so
customization
there isn't
glyphs.
a glyph overhaul planned for Midnight at launch in particular, but the general question of more customization for spell visuals, transforms, things along those lines, that's one that we're also very excited about and always looking to offer more customization, more cosmetic self-expression where possible. And the glyph system is a great vehicle for this. It's not the only vehicle, but where it makes sense, that's definitely one of the avenues we would use.
Speaking of highly upvoted questions, we got a lot from the PvP community. I want to ask a few of those.
The Demon
starting with
Hunter,
Keth
Demon
Cup on Reddit,
customizations
the
win.
question is, do you have any plans on making PvP less daunting for new players?
We absolutely do. Yeah, we're really excited to introduce a new feature called Training Grounds. This is a feature
the
where players
training
can enter
ground.
battlegrounds, fighting alongside other players against game-controlled opponents. So instead of fighting against other PvPers, potentially people who have been playing this mode much longer
It
than
better
you, who
give
have
honor.
better
It better
PvP
give
than you, and
honor.
are gonna
If it's
wipe the
comp
floor with
stomp
you, you'll
permanent
be able
and
to
it
fight
gives
against some
honor,
opponents that you'll have a little bit more
it'll
of a
be good.
satisfying win rate against. And because of that, we think this will be a pretty good on-ramp for people who are PvP curious, who want to get into PvP, but feel like there's just too much of a steep on-ramp because of those daunting aforementioned players who want to wipe the floor with you. This is going to start with a couple battlegrounds that players will be able to jump into with Training Grounds, and we'll see where we go from there.
I think, we love PvP, broadly speaking. I think one of the challenges is it can be very daunting to get in, as the question implies. If you're getting into PvP for the first time, you're in some cases jumping into a pool that's filled with sharks who've been doing this for 20 years. But there's so much, there's nothing quite like World of Warcraft PvP and that style of conflict, that style of combat. And so really our philosophical approach as we move into Midnight to really try to rejuvenate and grow the scene is to broaden the base of that pyramid so we can kind of lift the whole thing up.
Are we going to
and
see
help
them
all
really
levels
doing
of it,
stuff
whether
with
you are,
PvP to try
the most
to
hardcore person competing
get
for
more
titles at the
people
end
in?
of every season? Everyone will be better served if people feel like they can actually enter this community for the first time and discover what is so great about WoW PvP.
Let's all be sharks.
So eventually.
The PvP
I have my
player and
opinion of what
creator
they could
known
do.
as Supatees had the most highly upvoted question on our forums. He wrote, in the War Within, we saw major reward improvements and restructuring for Mythic Plus, which improved participation. Are there plans to look at the current reward structure for PvP, such as rating cutoffs or additional rewards?
There are definitely plans to look at this. One thing I can say that will be changing at launch in Midnight and the first season of Midnight is that top tier cutoff coming down from 2,400 to 2,300 for those rewards and titles. I think looking at how MMR has evolved and how the rating ecosystem has played out, that's been a bit too exclusive even for some of our best players. Speaking beyond that, I think there's a lot more that we would like to do with the system. That's not necessarily going to be happening right at launch in Midnight. But if you look, for example, at what we changed with Mythic Plus and new titles
they need to
and
listen.
restructure and things like the Resilient Keystone system in War Within, those changes came in War Within patches. So as we look to PvP and its evolution over the course of Midnight,
could Midnight do some stuff with PvP?
Another one, Sandent on the WoW forums wrote, Will War Mode receive more well-needed attention? More activities like zone objectives or rotating events? Maybe a free-for-all treatment?
Yeah, we're adding a whole new area into the Voidstorm zone, a giant war
Oh,
mode
yeah?
area which reflects the same space as the Slayer's Rise battleground. If you watch the deep dive video, you got to see that. That Slayer's Rise is also made manifest in the zone itself. And this is, if you've
All right.
played war mode in past expansions, you know that we've taken a couple war mode areas and had maybe one in each zone, one in Ringing Deeps and one in Isle of Dorn, where PvP, when you enable war mode, you'll have some special, unique activities. We took all those and glumped them all together right into this Slayer's Rise area, and so there's going to be a huge PvP playground. If you have war mode on, be able to do lots of cool
All right.
world-class
We'll have to
activities,
see.
reasons to just kill one another. And even if you don't have war mode enabled, there'll still be PvP-themed content for folks doing world quests up in that area.
Bloody
Why would you
tokens to
not have
farm.
War Mode enabled?
That's a very
Weeklies.
good question. Yeah.
Because you're afraid of sharks.
Yeah, it's sharks.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, Maclemente26 on Reddit asked a question that we saw a lot of, which is, when can we expect reputations from expansions prior to Shadowlands to become Warbound reputations?
Yep. When?
So yeah, taking full accountability here. I know that when we rolled out the warbands, we said that we were going to work our way backwards through reputations. We haven't made progress as quickly as we would have liked. We got some of the Shadowlands reputations, but not the Covenant.
They actually taking
This is something we're gonna pick
accountability.
up and resume. I can't commit to a definite timetable, but in the long run, we don't want this, just internal disparity between how different expansions reputations are handled, and we'll continue to start with the most recent and work our way backwards.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Stan on Blue
BFA.
Sky said, War Within is the first WoW expansion without a legendary. Can we expect anything in Midnight, or is the team taking time to reevaluate what place legendaries have in the modern game?
I think we always want to avoid things seeming formulaic, where it's like, okay, you can expect it's a new season, there's going to be a new legendary, this is how it's going to work. Legendaries should always remain special. They should feel like these are items that have clear stories behind them.
There's got to be one at
of that
midnight.
special orange color. And yes, we're also looking always at issues with how they're awarded. We want to make sure they feel special, but also don't turn into something where it feels bad or grindy because they feel required if you want to be competitive. There's a fine line to walk there. There aren't currently any planned for the first tier of Midnight, but as we face certain foes down the line, it may make sense for some of the items that they use.
Zalato's
to have an orange color, and
legendary
we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
shoes. It's not actually
I wanna ask
shoes,
some
it's like a toe
lower
ring.
questions. So, Asmira asked, will we be getting any
It's
more
a new
background
extra
information
slot.
on story regarding Lyrath Windrunner? Sorry. Any of the other Windrunner family members, perhaps?
Absolutely. I don't want to talk too much about patches, but certainly in Midnight, as we go into the Spire, you will have the opportunity to really get a brother's view of his sisters.
Oh,
and
yeah,
an
that
opportunity to learn
dude,
a lot more
I'm
about
wondering
what
who that
happened and
mysterious
what's happening in that place. And
elf. I gotta go back
I
to that
mentioned
other
before,
video.
We're gonna see the sisters.
And
The sisters.
Grody Toady on Blue Sky wants to ask about trolls. So here come all the names. Where is Vol'jin's story in all of this? I'm hoping we find a way to weave Vol'jin, Talanji, Zul'jin, Rokan, Zul'jan, and Zul'jara into a cohesive story about
Yes.
troll unity or cooperation.
Well, right out of the gate in Midnight, you're not going to see that combination of trolls, but you will see a combination of some trolls as we continue into patches and move forward. We're very much focused on what's going on with the trolls,
Troll
as well as what's
patch!
going on with the Blood Elves.
Troll
They have
patch!
not always been on the best of terms.
Troll
for reasons.
patch!
And
Come
there's
on.
definitely a story to be told about their relationship.
The
and all
troll
of those that
patch.
come
We
into
need the
that-
troll
that,
patch.
that story.
We gotta get
Groxy
the
on
troll
Blue Sky
patch.
said, Midnight sees the Paladin forces of Azeroth fighting back the Void at the Sunwell. Can we hope to see more lore about the Tauren and Azeroth's sun god Ansha? Eyes of the Earth Mother told us how he and Elune slash Musha fought possibly the Void in ancient Azeroth.
Well, we are going to hang out with Desco a little bit in the Eretor's Journey portion of our campaign at Midnight. And I feel like we certainly are going to look at how the Tauren view their mythologies, perhaps later in The Last Titan.
Okay, good. Let's talk about add-ons.
Oh, what?
Said, given the upcoming removal of
She
many
just
boss
dropping
tools,
random
how do you
things
plan
that
to
are kind of
preserve the
big.
intended difficulty of encounters once
Sylvanas,
these
now
tools are
this
no
for
longer
Last
available?
Titan?
So yeah, this is a great question. For some extra context, I think folks are going to see in the next day or two, as some of the media interviews we've done in the last day go out, that we are rolling out changes to the add-on API with the launch of Midnight.
That was an add-on question.
That is going to remove the ability for add-ons to read in real time combat state and combat information specifically. One of the big reasons why we're doing this with the launch of a new expansion is so that we can really build all of our combat, our encounters around that expectation, around this new ecosystem.
They doing it.
As we've been discussing over the course of the year, really the main goal with this shift is to create a level playing field where external tools are no longer felt to be required in order to engage in the content, at a competitive level. And also to shift some of the things that we are testing when it comes to difficulty, maybe away from Twitch reactions and how quickly you can run to the circle or diamond marker that your add-on told you to run to, and rather to more of the collaborative coordination that have traditionally marked cooperative PvE.
I wonder how the races and stuff are gonna go.
Difficulty largely the same in terms of how many pulls it takes to down a boss for your guild, whether you're
like, I'm gonna make it hard for y'all still. I don't care.
Heroic, or whether you're pushing into mythic or whatever else. Overall, it should take you about the same amount of time to accomplish what you're used to accomplishing. It's just that difficulty may come in slightly different places. Without add-ons to solve mechanics for you in real time, it may well be the case that we just need to give you a couple more seconds to get into place, or that there should be one fewer add to interrupt, or what have you. We are going to be rolling out, we're actually going to be launching alpha with a raid boss available for testing early on. We have a ton of native improvements to the UI, like
I just think they need to do it slower, in my opinion, but we'll see how good this stuff is.
Nameplate improvements, cooldown manager improvements, and more to, again, kind of create a unified experience that's baked into the UI. But the goal at the end of the day is for difficulty to remain where it was, and we will be making tuning changes in alpha and beta, as well as, of course, once these encounters are live, to make sure that things are landing in the right place and players still feel well equipped to overcome
live game. Alpha 3.
Following that, Sped Bros on Reddit asked, what is your plan for upkeep and development of these now built-in add-ons?
So I think, the functionality that we're pulling into the base UI is something that, as always, we're going to be evolving in response to player feedback. Again, part of why we're very excited to get people having a look at these right at the start of alpha is so that we have the entirety of the alpha and beta cycle to iterate on them.
I had to just wake up for this.
And then, of course, as always, even after the game is live, we're going to continue to add functionality based on
this add-on stuff's important. Just
it's not big on the WoW forums said, sculpting your UI over the years is almost like working on a classic car. Fine-tuning with different fonts, color palettes, and even different types of glow alerts. What is the depth of the available customization, and are there plans to expand it in the future?
So there's a couple of facets to this question. First off, couldn't agree more that I think UI customization and using add-ons to tailor the aesthetic of a UI, how information is presented and where it's presented, I think are one of the hallmarks of the WoW experience and really one of the strengths of the game for going on 21 years now. There are no plans to eliminate or remove that. The approach we've taken in changing the way the add-on API works really is just focused on access to that real-time information.
They only want to hit
details coming out very
wars.
soon from our UI engineering team on exactly how this works. But whereas in the past, when we have restricted aspects of what add-ons can do, we tend to just kind of wall off sections of our UI and say add-ons can't touch this at all. But when it comes to things like nameplates or unit frames and the like, that would have been an unacceptable approach here because that aesthetic customization is so essential. So there's a brand new system that's been created where essentially pieces of information about what's going on in combat are put in the black box. And Add-ons can paint that box pink or yellow or green or make it bigger or smaller, but what they can't do
Okay.
is know exactly what's inside the box and use that to drive logic.
Okay.
In addition to that, the new UI functionality that we're adding, whether it's improved nameplates or whatever, have extensive customizations in terms of size, shape, location, aesthetic, all of the edit mode functionality, and more. But we have no intent of pulling back in any way from the aesthetic customization that add-ons have always offered.
Cutting to the
That's
chase,
good.
Felfer on the WoW forums asked, does this mean that existing add-ons like Deadly Boss Mods, Plater, or Details are going to break?
They will change significantly. I think certainly, day one, if you're logging into alpha and you try to enable them, I do not believe they will work due to changes in the API, but that's standard for any new expansion release. We are inviting the authors of a vast range of add-ons into our first week of alpha, so that's going to be coming up in just the next few days.
Yo, let
to
me
get their
in.
hands on these changes, to give us feedback about how we can better
They need to
support
let me in.
their ongoing development. But yes, when it comes to the specific ability to read and process combat information and use that to drive logic, that is going to be changing, and that will affect those add-ons.
Okay, give me one more. This comes from Herrix on the WoW forums. Herrix said, what are the plans regarding improvements to the default raid frames? In the effort to reduce the need for add-ons, raid frames are a major pain point for healers, where the default Blizzard raid frames are basically unusable without at least some external modification.
So yeah, we also have improvements coming to raid frames, definitely with healers in mind. If you're, let's say, a Resto Druid who wants to be able to see all of your HOTS on a target, that's something that we agree is very important and needs to be baked into the default functionality. Same with encounter designers calling out major buffs and debuffs and things that you need to know in an encounter, whether you're a healer or just a raid leader wanting to keep tabs on the state of the encounter that way.
Yeah, like
and of course,
the spells.
As mentioned earlier, add-ons will still be able to customize the look and the feel and the size and the overall presentation of raid frames. There just won't be certain functionality that is driving logic based on whether you happen to have a certain debuff or not, but all the rest should still be available.
E. Chow on Blue Sky has a couple of questions. Given the connection to the Army of Light, the Sunwell and Blood Elves in general being their main rival in the Burning Crusade, will we see Draenei play any sort of role? Also, will Quel'Thalas be, with Quel'Thalas being part of the main world now, will there be any updates to Forsaken Lands?
So the Draenei, obviously will be part of the fight, part of the battle that we're waging against the Void. But this chapter is focused on the Blood Elves and the Blood Elves struggle with some trolls.
With some
trolls. We're going to really be leaning in there more than we are with the Draenei. Opportunities,
Elf expansion, baby.
Will come up for the Draenei to have their moment in the light, as it were.
Yeah. And as it goes for changes to Forsaken Lands, well, there's some minor changes as we've added Quel'Thalas and Zul'Aman into the main body of the Eastern Kingdoms to connect them in. So there's a tunnel in the Forsaken Lands that does connect it in. We are going to see some Forsaken characters as well. We're actually going to be working with a little bit of a deep cut, but Alonsis Fowl, the Archpriest, is going to be a character who appears.
Hold up, we're rolling it back.
On into the main. The main body of the Eastern Kingdoms to connect them in. So there's a tunnel in the Forsaken Lands that does connect it in. We are going to see some Forsaken characters as well.
Are you kidding me? Are we going to have to go through a thing to load in to...
We're actually going to be working with a little bit of a deep cut, but Alonsis Fowl.
None of the screenshots seem like it does that.
Archpriest is going to be a character who appears and has a couple interesting interactions and chats with Eretor and Liadrin and others.
Alonsis Fowl.
We're going to continue to build out Forsaken story as we continue.
Yeah, I think looking at how this is playing out and will continue to, I think we're very excited by some of the reception we've heard from Gamescom onwards about the changes to Silvermoon, Eversong, and more. Honestly, there was a bit of anxiety internally about the idea of revisiting an old location as for one of our zones, whether some players would view that as like somehow lesser than coming up with a brand new place.
Oh,
I
okay.
think as
This is
people
good.
see this full splendor of Silvermoon, get a chance to revisit Eversong and what it's become all these years later, I think the excitement around that really excites us too, because we'd love to be able to tell more new stories in some of the iconic locations that resonate throughout
All right.
everyone's
That's
fandom
good.
of Warcraft and what Azeroth is about. So
Hopefully.
that will mean updating those locations, and I think that's something
Yeah.
that we're excited to do more of as we look forward. Of course, the Last Titan will see us going back to Northrend, so that'll be a story for another day.
I think we for sure discovered that we can tell different stories when we go to old places and see how characters have changed, see how the spaces have changed. It's been a really cool opportunity to do that in Midnight.
All right.
Let's
That's good.
shift to some class talk. Faxi
Okay, here
on
we go.
Reddit asked, are you planning on adding any new specs that can tank or heal for existing classes?
Not right now in Midnight. I think Devourer, Demon Hunter, and that new range DPS spec for them is our focus right now. But I think we've seen, whether it's this or whether it's augmentation, there's excitement around the idea of established classes getting new specs, and so that is something I think we are likely to explore as we look to the future.
I don't know about Last Titan, but
Zerotics
maybe in Last
on
Titan.
Reddit asked, throughout the War Within, some classes and
I think we're
specs
getting a new
received
class in
visual
Last Titan.
updates, and as a monk player, the update to Vivify was very appreciated. Are there any other classes or specs that can be revealed to be getting updated visuals in Midnight?
Yeah, there's a couple really cool Apex talents. So Apex talents are the new talents you'll be able to learn at the bottom of your spec tree, and a lot of these have some fantastic visuals.
Alright.
Ones that jump out to me are the augmentation, where you summon a bronze dragon version of yourself from the future to fight alongside you for a little bit. The Mage one as well, you summon a Hand of Frost that chases down your target and attack them. And so these are some of the new abilities that are going to get some new.
That's
visuals.
cool as hell.
As far as like looking back at
Augmentation,
older visuals, as was the
you
case with
summon
Vivify,
your
this is something
future
that we
self.
tend to do as we continue to build smaller patches.
That's sweet.
Most of our efforts for Midnight was building all the new stuff, but then as we continue building out the game, we look to the future. This is where we look back at, as we did with Vivify, find abilities where we can raise the floor and say like, okay, this one has aged not as gracefully as the rest of our visuals, and we can bring it up to par with the rest.
Following that, we found a question from Nihenna on the German forums, and Nihenna asked, will the void/light topic be picked up in any additional class specs in the future? For example, Sunwell effects for a Holy Paladin, or perhaps void powers for a Warlock?
I don't know about Void Warlocks quite yet, but we do have a existing Void themed spec, the Shadow Priest, my beloved Shadow Priest, which has a new ability, Tentacle Slam, which replaces Shadow Crash, and
Tentacle
it is a giant
Slam?
voidy tentacle that slams down in a line in front of you.
Yo,
It has
they
a
getting the
similar
tentacle
AoE
slap.
component, but a lot more of a classic voidy Shadow Priest idea.
There
to
we
it.
go.
We also have on one of our Apex talents, the Discipline Priest has Void Shield, which replaces your Power Word Shield with a Void themed shield. So there are places where the Void and Light are leaking into class design.
Going back to the support roles, Neo Saro on the EU Spanish forums asked, can we expect anything new regarding the support role in Midnight? Will it be expanded to other classes? Is it considered that it maybe didn't work as expected for augmentation, and perhaps that just becomes a normal damage or healer?
So we're not planning on currently expanding it to other classes, but we're also not planning on changing augmentation to just fit into the existing niches.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of excitement
That's
around
good.
the idea of support. And I think we've seen players embrace that fantasy. I think we are still iterating on evolving that specialization and getting to a place where we can find a happy medium, where it can kind of realize that fantasy and be effective as someone who bolsters the strength of your allies without also becoming so effective that it feels required in groups and kind of limits composition diversity. I think if we're able to achieve that, hopefully when we're able to achieve that, I do think we would like to look to what other ideas.
All right,
might
good.
apply
I like
different
that.
fantasy
I like
to
that
execute
answer.
in that
I
fantasy.
hate these people trying to be like delete all.
I want to switch to the topic
Change
of
it.
delves. The WoW content creator True Villain Manny said,
Oh.
with delves integrated into the story, will there be certain scenarios that are locked in as we level? And will there be additional story in those alternative scenarios with delves?
Yeah, as we move through the campaign in Midnight, we will be entering delves with specific goals in mind, and that particular variant of the story will have the objectives that we need to accomplish as we go through them. As always, our delves will have multiple variants to play through with different stories occurring. So yes, we will continue to use delves in this way, and you know, look for opportunities to continue to build quest content that enters delves.
So let's go inside.
Oh.
Varteris on the WoW
More
forums
quest delves.
said, will delves have even greater variety than in the War Within? Maybe a randomized puzzle to solve, a race, a whole new set of abilities?
Yeah, there's a couple ways that delves are changing. We have a new follower. Valera Sanguinara is going to come along, and she's going to mix things up. She's takes delves a little bit more seriously than Bran does, and a lot more stabbily
Okay.
as well. We also have some outdoor delves that are going to take place in outdoor spaces, and so this will just change up. Not
That's
only the map,
kinda-
but the
I'm
space and the
excited
ability
about
to move
those when I
around
heard
because
about
you'll be able
those.
to use your ground mounts to get around. We're also just taking a look at the mechanics that we're using.
But
in
also that
delves
means they
in
could be
Midnight.
huge.
So you can announce now that Midnight does not have any underwater delves. It also does not have any delves with a mechanic where you have to, say, pick up a candle or a totem and throw it ahead and continue doing that on a continued basis.
Thank goodness.
Folks, let us know how they felt about those, and we're not moving forward with those designs in Midnight.
That's great.
So
10
Relentless
out of
on the
10.
EU Spanish forums asked a version of a question we got a lot. And
Underwater delves could be fine, but just make it not require the breath. Like, you get underwater breathing automatic, and warlocks just aren't. Because that's the thing. Underwater delves make warlocks OP. Right?
Ian, what's stopping the World of Warcraft development team from doing a world revamp? Could we get a world revamp?
I mean, I think, you know, the idea of
They're
revamping
kinda doing
everything
it.
at once is a terrifying one, frankly. But I think, as touched on earlier, you know, we definitely want to tell new stories in iconic locations, and in doing that, we would certainly do much more than just do a fresh coat of paint on the area. We would really reimagine it and bring it into the present day, as we have with Eversong. Our current focus is, of course, on the story that we're
Dude,
telling
I
with the
can't
rest of
wait
the
to
World Soul
see
Saga.
Eversong.
That will touch on some
More.
familiar
Like,
locations.
play it.
But down the line, I think the lessons we are learning and the experiences we're having, revisiting some locations, open the door to doing a lot more of it.
Sweet.
Saw a very upvoted question from Solera, a French WoW player on X. Solera asked, without giving away spoilers, very important,
Okay.
does Midnight introduce any completely new elven tribes or expand on lesser known ones? Maybe the Kelderai?
Without spoilers.
Without spoilers.
That's a tough constraint.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's right.
I don't think it's spoilery to say we're going to be learning a lot about the elves and the elves' relationships with one another, and that would include Quel'Drai.
Thank you. And Zoris on the EU Spanish forum.
Well, she said
with the
Quel'Drai,
Devourer
not
specialization, all
Calderai.
Demon Hunter abilities will use void effects and icons, even
Shit.
those shared by all three specializations. Has there been any consideration of extending this aesthetic customization to other classes?
So I think philosophically and narratively, what a Void Demon Hunter represents, what a Devourer Demon Hunter represents, is one who, rather than harnessing and channeling fel energy, is channeling void energy to turn it against
He's gonna talk about the
those
priests.
who originally wielded it. And so that is going to transform a wide range of their abilities. On the other hand, when we look at, let's say, a Fire Mage or a Frost Mage, they're not forsaking the arcane when they become a Fire Mage. And so
Yep.
Blink is still an arcane spell, and Counterspell is still an arcane spell, and so forth. And so I think when we look at other classes, we generally like to look at that broad base of multiple, areas of focus. And just because you specialize in one thing doesn't mean that that transforms all of the others. That said, touching on some earlier questions, when it comes to glyph spell customizations and other things that players may want to
Here we
customize the
go.
look and feel of their abilities, there's always an opportunity there.
Another
Margles.
highly upvoted question all over the place. I'll take the version of this question from Navarel on the EU German forums. Would you consider replacing the ready-made group in follower dungeons with characters from the player's warband?
Definitely something we are considering. Not something we're going to be able to deliver for Midnight, but ever since the introduction of both warbands and follower dungeons,
What if you don't have a
idea,
tank?
This request has popped up. It's something
Or
that we're
heals?
excited about internally as well. There's some technical hurdles to, kind of pull that information down in real time and make it work, but it's something
Yeah.
we do want to deliver down the line.
Ian's not lying about technical hurdles. There were multiple
Yeah.
technical hurdles in the way. We're actually jumping over one of them with Training Grounds, where we're changing the way that some of those game-controlled characters or bots are built to be building Training Grounds in this way gets us one hurdle closer to being able to do what you're asking for.
There are so many people on this development team that I would call technical hurdlers. Engineers, that's just what they do. They jump over hurdles. So, Maria, Silo on the WoW forums asked, will there be new mini-game type quests in Midnight?
Yes, there will be. We actually have a new mechanic that was created for Zulaman specifically, where you will do some, underwater stuff, but it's quite fun.
Abundance?
It's the Amani Abyss.
Yo, the
style.
Abyss!
You're gonna be going fishing troll style.
Oh!
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
That's
fishy.
a revelation. I like that. While we're revealing things, Musselton on the WoW forums asked, I'm extremely excited for the Heronir. Can you share more information on their druid forms?
Oh,
Well,
we saw.
conveniently, if you watched the deep dive, you saw a flash of those. Fundamentally, they all have quills to throw back to sort of the Heronir, but the tank form is a pangolin.
Dude, if we
bear
find out
with
they're
sort of
actually quill boar
bat-like
and not
ears.
elves,
Sorta got
I
those.
will
They got the ears and the quills, and
laugh.
we have a wolverine for our
Dude, I will
our
lose
feral
it.
spec. We have an quilled owl-like sort of boomkin.
I mean, clearly they're elves, but man.
Has got to be the swimming form, the swimming travel form, which is an axolotl.
Axolotl.
Oh yeah, we didn't
Quill.
see
We're all
that.
going to learn how to say axolotl.
Yeah, I probably
Oh, that okay.
No, I
We didn't
think
see
you got
the
it right.
fish
Yeah,
form.
Okay, cool.
That's cool.
The reveal of the Heronir led to a very common question. And a version of that question that I want to ask you came from Racktoner on Reddit. Can you explain the decision-making process for which races to make playable races?
A lot of this comes down to narrative. There's no secret that we started talking to the Heronir in the War Within, and this was not a coincidence either. We wanted to build a familiarity with Orwena, with her crew, so you'd understand who these characters are when they do eventually become playable characters, as we've added them in Midnight. And of course, Midnight is part of a 3-chapter saga. We're in the middle chapter now. The Heronir are going to be a big, important part of this story, and this is why we chose to fold them in.
I feel
Right,
bad
they're gonna be
often being the
important.
bearer of bad news in these conversations, but I know that it's not lost on us that there are widespread requests from players who would love to be a Sethrak or an Ethereal or the like. And part of the question there is, as Paul said, narratively, like, does it make sense for this faction to really
Koreshi.
join the alliance?
We
of
want to
other
be
players,
Koreshi now.
if they're cosmic, extraplanar, or more neutral by nature. But the reality of it is also, from a production perspective, one of the things we grapple with is that adding a brand new race to World of Warcraft is one of the most development intensive things we can do, not just in one-time time commitment, but also in the long-term carrying cost for every set of armor we ever make for years and years to follow. And it's something that we have to weigh very, very heavily when we do. Building a race that uses or shares an existing rig, an existing skeleton, if it's an elven race or the like, makes that more straightforward. Again, that's not to say we're never going to add very novel or meaningfully different races down the line, but it's a very high bar for us to clear when we look at how much ultimately it's going to mean that we have to do less of in other places forever in order to support this additional race alongside the others.
As I've said to you before, I want Saberon. I will wait. I will be patient. Please give me Saberon. So, Massive Bear on the WoW forums asked, will Heronir be unlockable in the 3 days of early access? I remember Earthen were not.
Hold on. So, what about more goblin content? What are you talking about? The thing about the races, is there ever going to be a point where there's so many races in WoW that to make armor work, all a patch is them trying to make armor work through all 20, 50 WoW races?
No, not during the first 3 days. So during that early access, we want to make sure that we're letting players who are in that.
That Goblin House message is almost an hour old. FYI. That's why I'm like, what are you talking about?
Early access, be able to play through the campaign and understand, what's going on, but not getting any meaningful jumps ahead of anyone else who does not have that early access.
Meredith on the WoW forums
Wait.
asked.
Now I missed the
Players who
question.
are in that early access, be able to play through the campaign and understand, what's.
I remember Earthen were not.
No, not during the first 3 days. So during that early access, we want to make sure that we're letting players who are in that early access be able to play through the campaign and understand, what's going on, but not getting any meaningful jumps ahead of anyone else who does not have that early access.
Okay, so it's going to be locked behind something.
Meredith on the WoW forums asked, how is Blizzard progressing in the war against toxicity
I'm not surprised.
in terms of the entire game?
Yeah, this is something that's a huge focus for us, and really, there's many facets to the question and the discussion. I think when people say toxicity, there's a few different meanings, perhaps, or things that they're referring to. Some of it is just the overt, hostile, harmful, antagonistic interactions that may occur online between players. We're always continuing to shore up our reporting tools, improve real-time monitoring, and get to a place where people who are disrupting our game world can be punished and ultimately removed from it if they continue to do that.
All right.
On the other hand, though, I think sometimes when people talk about a community or a portion of the game feeling toxic, that can arise from just mismatched expectations. Like, if I'm listing a group and I'm trying to run a raid, and I have done that raid 12 times, and I have been through groups that have wiped and learned the encounters, it's reasonable for me as a leader of a pug to only want players who have a certain level of experience, who have also been through those learning wipes and can succeed quickly. And so someone who is looking to learn may feel like, oh, this is very unwelcoming, this is kind of toxic, why aren't we?
Yeah, well,
why am I
some of them
not
go
doing it?
too far, though.
And ultimately, that's an issue of aligning expectations. And I think there's a lot more that we can do on the pro-social side of things to help people find like-minded players and like-minded groups. There's nothing wrong with wanting to complete something quickly and efficiently. There's also very certainly nothing wrong with wanting to learn and wanting a patient group. Now, if you mix those two groups, there are going to be some conflicts that emerge naturally because of different goals and expectations. So I think a lot of what we're focused on right now is also how we can help players better connect with like-minded individuals so that they can have satisfying experiences where everyone is on the same page, working towards the same goals.
That's good.
Thank you. I want to rip through some more housing questions. We've got several.
All right, let's get through 'em.
Will we get to see our alts walking about, or maybe sitting in a chair in our house?
I think that's going to be a no
this
at the moment.
We're looking at a lot of the same technical hurdles we talked about earlier, not only with being able to show players and other players in game, but also the pathing issues that Ian mentioned when it comes to being able to have your pets moving around and mounts moving around and whatnot. So not planned yet, but something we do talk about as a potential for the future. And I'll take this moment to say that housing is one of those features which is really exciting for us because there are so many cool ways for it to grow. As we've built Midnight and we're sharing housing for the first time, we're going to be looking to you to tell us, what do you want? Is it that we want to see our house? Do we want more features? Do we want more?
Now we'll have to see how it plays out.
More ways that I can style the interior, exterior of my house. So let us know as you continue playing.
Yeah, philosophically, with a feature the size of housing, this is something we've been working on for a very long time.
Yeah, whole raid tier
deliver what players
destroyed.
Have been expecting and what they deserve. But there comes a point when we're developing, especially a social feature, where we're almost hesitant to take it too far until we can actually share it with the community and understand what people are into, what they're maybe not into so much, what they want more of, what they don't need more of, to make sure that we're really putting our time and our resources in the places that are going to maximize that value for players. And so we're so excited to see people jump in the months ahead in alpha and beta.
Yeah, see, people
course,
want Goblin housing.
This
Get on it.
December on the live servers.
There, see, I
and
brought
see
it
where it
up
goes from
for
there.
you.
So here's a very specific question from Alastril on the WoW forums. For housing and professions, it was stated that professions through all expansions will be able to craft housing items. Will we be able to use this as a skill catch-up for the past expansions? For example, could a leather worker start at Wrath Leatherworking Skill 1 and craft Wrath-themed housing items to get all the way to level 75?
I mean, these will give skill ups for sure. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how many of them will be available at level 1, for example. They may be tuned based on how elaborate the piece of decor is, but in general, yeah, once you get the level that you're able to build these things, then you continue to use them to level up.
So many very specific requests. I want to just give you this one. It comes from Spera on the WoW forums. Is it possible to add a functional bookshelf to player housing that could store and display collected
Okay, yeah, the
in-game
books.
books?
Everyone wants
I
the
have
books.
a lot of those.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. That like
Yeah.
once you share housing with the world, then 1,000 cool ideas come out, and so we start gathering up all these cool ideas and say, what can we do next? I can confirm there will be bookshelves. Whether those bookshelves will be functional, no, not at least to start. But this is a really cool idea for a collection that
Yeah, everyone wants it,
take that to the
but
team.
And a couple more. Ian, Devanir on Reddit wrote, what is the minimum player limit for a private or guild neighborhood? What happens if you make a private neighborhood with the minimum amount of people and then some of them go away?
So this is something that's still a bit in flux. I think our current thinking is that just like signing a guild charter, you'll need 10 players to charter a private neighborhood.
10?
And that's for a couple of reasons.
Oh
Part of it is,
my God.
in order for neighborhood systems, endeavors to really to function optimally, there's a certain number of players that are going to be expected to really drive the system.
All right, the
And
Bob
also a piece
neighborhood
of it
needs
is just
10.
server performance.
I need the
using an
10,
extreme
the
example, if
original
literally
10.
every single player online had their own personal neighborhoods, that would be potentially millions of simultaneous entire districts that need to get spun up, trying to make sure the servers
Hermit
don't run here.
mode.
And so striking a balance between what's going to be a good social
Hermit
experience, but also
mode.
recognizing that
Hermit
players
mode.
have friend groups
If
of
they
various
ever-
sizes, and we want to be as flexible as possible.
If in like 10 years of WoW housing they had hermit mode, y'all heard it here first. Remember.
If we're able to lower that number from where we're starting, it's something we would aim to do as we see how the tech side of it unfolds.
I saw an upvoted question on Reddit from a player named Backstabbeth, and this is a question I have myself.
Fairly a trustworthy fellow.
Very much. Will there be a list of collections and their sources for housing materials before housing goes live so that we can begin to start hunting for those items, maybe reputation,
Pre-patch.
achievement requirements? I'd llove to know what I already have or what I'm
0.7.
close to having.
Yeah, a ton
Test
of that is going to
run.
be visible in the alpha build coming up in just a day. But we'll have a blog summarizing it so you don't
Yeah,
have to,
I'm like,
go
oh,
try to
yeah,
find the
it's called
information.
test
And
builds.
that way everyone can get a head start on
Yep.
checking off those achievements that you may have missed.
Let's come back to a couple of fun questions before we go here. Bale Samel on the WoW forums asked, are we getting a capybara, Loa? There are capybaras in the Yamani screenshots.
Please,
The
please,
people yearn
please,
for a capybara,
please,
Loa.
please.
Well, conveniently, there is one. His name is Philo, the capybara Loa of children.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God!
Prominent headdress.
Absolutely, and a glorious necklace.
That's perfect. Loa's should be very well outfitted.
Amazing. 10 out of 10. 11 out of 10
Interfin
expansion.
on the WoW
Nope,
forums
fuck it.
asked,
12
could we
out of
see
10
the return
expansion.
of class quest lines?
Capybara
Legion was
Loa just
great,
dropped.
and it was fun to have a unique experience questing on alts.
Yeah, class quest lines come up really often as something people are
Yes.
excited about.
Yes, they
we
do.
Certainly do want to look more at, expanding on classes. We had a lot of fun doing the Warlock one, for example, not too long ago. But most recently, the best way for you to play some class quest lines, if you never played them, has to do with our lore walking, because where we had restrictions, for example, on the Xalatath story, previously, a lot of people didn't know anything about Xalatath and the knife, and by playing that lore walking, they had the opportunity to play that portion of the priest quest line. So we're hoping that as we build more lore walking, you'll have that opportunity to see some of that. But this is certainly an area that the Quest and Narrative team would be thrilled to do more of.
Yeah.
Good.
With order halls.
It's our last question, and I
Our order
cobbled
halls.
this together
Are y'all
from
working?
versions of this question that I found everywhere.
Okay.
I want to give a shout out to some of the people that I borrowed this from.
Here we go.
Azerial, Simplejack, Martian, Zuburius on our forums, all asked versions of this. Ian, how will player power progression be updated in Midnight, especially regarding Valor Stones?
Oh.
So yes, so the way the upgrade system has played out over the last couple of expansions, I think we're happy with the sort of granular incremental progression that complements that spiky randomness of loot drops. But there is, and we agree with player feedback that we've heard, potentially one too many moving pieces and a bit too much complexity in the current system. So I can announce that Valor Stones as a currency will be going away in Midnight.
Oh
you're
my
gonna need
God.
to gather the crests that you need, and that should be sufficient. We're also
Oh
looking
my
to
God.
streamline the system a little bit and more clearly pair individual crest tiers with appropriate gear upgrade tracks, so that there's potentially less confusion about what crest matches to what.
There it is.
Anything further, Paul?
There it
No,
is.
I think that's great. Yeah, yeah. super excited.
We're over here pumping fists.
Yes,
We're
absolutely.
very
Yes, yeah,
excited.
Valor
Valor
Stone's
Stones.
dead
Well,
And on
for
that
now.
that's our
Valor
time.
may return.
Thank you, Ian, Paul, Maria. Thank you for
Dude.
taking the time, and thank you to everyone.
Because Valor left
watching
before
live.
and came back
We've
in
got
stone form.
Midnight alpha testing starting very soon. We can't wait to see you there
Dude.
and welcome you home.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. I gotta go back to the other video. I got to go back to the other video. Because I want to pull up that character that they mentioned.
The fight against the void really begins to take shape. The strength of the Sunwell infuses Eversong Woods with restorative energy, healing much of the damage of wars past and filling the zone with new growth and new life. All of what you remember of this lush, thriving forest is here. But Eversong is also a reimagined landscape of increased scale and greater beauty. Most noticeably, the Ghostlands and Eversong Wood.
What? Okay, let's just go to what I want. I found something new. Here. Okay, I don't know if that's Sylvanas, but this character is very interesting.
Motives.
A suspicious apothecary with questionable motives. Dude. Is that Sylvanas in a disguise? Sylvanas was in a disguise before, during the Anderhall questline.
Untangling the secrets of two feuding nobles, and even
Dude.
or accompany
I'm
Arator
so excited.
as she seeks a means to save her people from void-aligned cultists and the monsters they revere.
Alright, so here, hold up. There's a news here. Wowhead's posting something about fully collecting a class set appearance unlocks all lower difficulty variants in Midnight. That's kind of crazy. Yo! Oh my God, pre-orders are up! Oh my God. Okay, y'all, I gotta go. I gotta pre-order this collector's edition. I'll see y'all next time. 12 out of 10. We got a Cat Bear Loa confirmed. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.